I just should take this time to kind of introduce myself. I go by Manipulation, and I started playing StarCraft about a year ago, and I've started casting recently because sometimes I get sad when I play the game because I'm god awful. And casting seems like a good way to learn the game because you can watch some of the tactics that players use. So hopefully these guys can show us something good. Spawning in the top left hand we have our yellow Terran Animantra. And in the bottom right hand, we have the red Terran Dreadlord. And they're having a little bit of pre-game chat. Dreadlord kind of dissing himself, which Dreadlord did alright. I feel like he made a couple mistakes, not that I really would have done better. And I can agree with Animantra on this part. Had he attacked earlier in that last game, I do believe he could have actually taken the game, because he had stem and everything. But, that's just something that we know because we were the all-seeing observers and they are not. So we see normal builds again, nothing getting proxied or anything. And Dreadlord has the same problem as I do. You know good and well playing on that ladder, if I play someone who drops, they're just gonna kill me. Alright, so just to update anyone who may have just joined, we do have a show match here between two diamond players. Animantra is currently up 1-0 over Dreadlord, and this should be a pretty good game. Their last game was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. Terran is my worst race personally, so I have problems with it. So seeing these guys do pretty well with it makes me kind of happy. I'd imagine Dreadlord's probably going to go Reaper due to the gas opening, but okay, so he's sending this to check for any proxies. That's something a lot of people don't do, but they should. And there's already an SCV on the way for Animantra because of the fact that I'm not actually sure, because he is opening Reaper. Typically people don't SCV. Okay, no, he's not opening Reaper. Alright, so just like last game, Animantra is probably going to open the same build as last time. I would be surprised if he actually opened Banshees again, but it's always a possibility. And we have a Marine actually coming from Dreadlord, so he might just be doing a 1-1-1 build, which would be interesting to see. Because I think Animantra, you don't want that SCV to go up there. And I think that SCV should get away, yeah. So Animantra's factory is going up now. And notably about 30 seconds behind Dreadlord's factory. Look at that Marine kiting that SCV for its life. Whenever you see a Marine get down to half health from an SCV, you know the struggle was real. So there's a starport going down for Dreadlord now. It will be interesting to see, since there are no tech labs anywhere. There won't be any upgrades or anything, and I don't predict a Banshee coming from Dreadlord. Oh, okay, Dreadlord's doing a Widow Mine drop. Now everything makes sense. That's why there's no tech labs or anything. This could go extremely well against what Animantra is doing, seeing as he's actually not going to have any detection other than his orbital scan. And he just now scanned his base, and seeing this Widow Mine, he's seen everything except for the barracks that he knows is there. Oh, now is not the time to be supply block. Okay, he's good now. Alright, so what he's going to do is, once this medevac pops, he's going to load everything up into the medevac, take it over to the main, and drop it right over here, and try and get this mineral, try and hit this mineral line with the Widow Mine. But one thing to note about the SCV is that Widow Mines do 40 damage, or that was all pre-patch, honestly I don't know about it anymore, but it used to only do 40 damage, like splash and everything. And SCVs are the only thing to have 45 health. Probes and drones have 40 health, therefore they died to the splash damage. And actually, I think Animantra is going for a Hellion drop of his own. His will be a little bit behind, but honestly, these two might run into each other. Should be interesting to see. They're both at the same supply. Dreadlord is going to get supply. Okay, he's got a supply depot about to be done. Alright, judging from the way this is going, it's not going to run into his medevac. There's a Viking on the way. If that found the medevac, that would be really nice for him. And he does have his Widow Mine buried right here, so if this medevac were to fly over the Widow Mine and then into the Viking, there's a good chance he might not even get anything off. We'll see if Dreadlord notices it. Oh, it's close. And it hits it. Is he gonna? He's not gonna react. That medevac has 25 health and he didn't react. Oh man. Well, he's not focusing down the Marines. So this actually is not going that bad for Dreadlord. This actually went disastrously for Animantra. He lost everything and he's starting to get some SCVs now, but really he still had 19 SCVs mining. He didn't really lose anything, and Dreadlord still has that drop on the way. So seeing that, I mean, he's got enough energy for a scan, which is nice. So whenever he does drop that Widow Mine, he's going to be able to scan it anyway and get rid of it. And here comes the drop. We'll see if it manages to accomplish anything. Probably not too much, honestly. Yeah. And that medevac should just go ahead and run on home. Interestingly enough, he dropped another mule, I believe, because I didn't see a scan. So I'm guessing he dropped that mule, and that makes it to where he doesn't have enough energy now to actually... Oh man, I want to see him load this Viking into the medevac. Viking drops are too real, just because they're completely unnecessary. Anyway, these Widow Mines are about to queue up again. Oh, didn't take the bait. So, as far as workers go, Dreadlord has his commands in reverse again, just like in last game. So, it'll be interesting to see where this takes us, because I'm not 100% sure how Dreadlord's going to do, considering the fact he's not upgrading, and he has no add-ons. Okay, he's got this one barracks, one factory, one starport. Okay, but he has no add-ons. And he's going for a third CC. So what this means is, when Animantra has... Oh, he's actually dropping again. He probably shouldn't get anything, and he should probably just load up and leave. Too late. Those are all going to die. But Dreadlord, he doesn't really have any add-ons either, now that I look. He's got a couple of tech labs, but not much other than that. He's got his Raven, which isn't really going to be 100% necessary other than cleaning up these Widow Mines. I guess it's nice for that. He has also not started any upgrades. So now we've got the orbital just now finishing, but this orbital has been done for a while and it's already produced quite a bit of SCVs. Those Hellions run headlong into that siege tank, which really, honestly, since they were already up there, I would have liked to have seen them keep going. Seeing these little burrow marks that were right there though, or those might have been siege tank hit marks, I'm not sure. Might have been better for him to back off, but since he already took the siege tank hits, he might as well have just ran back here and killed some SCVs. But then again, I'm not a Diamond Terran, so what do I know? Looks like he's just gonna use these SCVs to patrol the map, keep map control. And Dreadlord has his third finished, so we'll see if he floats that off or if he actually just uses it to pump out those SCVs. And it does look like he's going to opt to just maximize his SCV count right now. While at the same time, Animantra is just hunkering down on his natural, making sure he shouldn't have to worry about too much. He's got a medevac. Oh man. This 25 HP medevac's a hero. He's been using this medevac since the very beginning of this is his first medevac. Took that mine shot. This medevac has seen things. It's carrying a Hellion, and I can't check their health, but those Hellions have essentially no health either. So I mean, I kind of wish he would have repaired those before he walked off, and this medevac's about to have a really bad day. Turn around, please. Okay. Okay, he noticed. Good. But man, Dreadlord is serious about not getting any drops. Yeah, not there either, buddy. I'm not sure what this is, but Animantra, is that actually a Hellion, or is that just... I don't know, something about that Hellion doesn't look right to me. But still, Looking at the game, I'm going to assume, yeah, Dreadlord's going mech. He has to be going mech. So he's got this landed Viking over here just kind of sitting around, scouting out with his barracks. And third is just now going down for Animantra. Thing is, Dreadlord could take a third whenever he wants because of this orbital already being done. But since he's playing mech, he really shouldn't push anything. He should just bunker up and make sure that he can't be penetrated anytime soon. So it's interesting to see really what Animantra does, because he's behind in supply and hasn't dedicated to anything until now. You can see he's going mech. He's got 3 tech lab factories and then another factory with his armory done. Dreadlord's getting Blue Flame, which is a very good upgrade that you should always have whenever you go mech, because you can do Hellion run-bys or Hellbat drops that'll be way more effective that way. That one random Marine, I don't want you, get out of here. I wanted a Hellion. So now he does secure that third, and I'm curious, it's actually just as Animantra's third finishes up. So what'll be interesting to see here is who makes the first move, because since they're both playing mech, we could be in for a really long game. There's no reason for either of them to move out, especially with maps like this, because there's a good chance one army goes this way, one army goes that way, and they never see each other, and then they have this awkward moment of do I attack or do I go back? And honestly, I still have yet to figure out which answer is the better answer for that. So I like to personally avoid that at all costs. But looking here, Animantra, his siege line isn't nearly as tough as this siege line. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to walk into either of them, but the Dreadlord's siege line is not going to be broken by what he's got. And Dreadlord actually has about a 20 supply lead, which is kind of surprising. But it's interesting to note that both of these players seem to like early game shenanigans with different forms of drops, banshees, that type stuff, which is, in my opinion, a very cool way to play TVT. It's very annoying, but it's very cool. Or it's annoying to the player, but it's cool to watch, because it does force people to react well. And with this drop over here, he's taking advantage of mech's biggest weakness, and that's their mobility. Because if he drops this in the main, there's a little bit of a gap right here you could just skirt around in. If he drops in the main, look, there is nothing up here. But instead of dropping in the main, he's actually going to drop in the third. He does end up getting a couple SCV kills, but in the end, I still think going into the main would have been a better choice there, considering all the siege tanks are still down here. So I'm not sure who's going to take the first 4th base. Oh, Dreadlord. Ask and you shall find out. Or actually, okay, he's just now putting it down. That's okay then. He's got these 2 Hellbats just kind of standing here, not really doing anything. This barracks is gonna die to a turret. It's not very often that you see that. Dreadlord's actually denying this base, or no, he was getting his base denied, but he's good to go now. And yeah, this is the average mech game. Not too much going on. So there's a couple orbitals, and really what you want to do here is you want to get as many orbitals as you can, because you want to start throwing away SCVs and just relying on mules. And actually we have Animantra coming in to crack this 4th, and that PF isn't done yet. He's gonna have to lift off. So now that this base has been denied and this base is going up, that'll be interesting to see if that affects anything really, because Dreadlord has tons of money, and he hasn't really he has not really moved out. I don't even think he's, other than that drop he did a little earlier, I don't think he's moved past his half of the map. So let's see who's winning this. And that's about where the tanks will stalemate. So he's going to try and retake this base now. Hopefully get his planetary fortress set up. Luckily for Animantra though, he's got his basically set up. Now all these tanks have returned. This is going to be another orbital. And really I'm kind of surprised there isn't more production again. Like, I don't know, maybe I was just taught Terran wrong. I just always thought you were supposed to have as much production as possible. So he's making 2 more orbitals. Eventually he's going to be able to scan like a happy little schoolboy, because why not? You've got so many orbitals. I don't even know how many orbitals he's got. I'm sure it's a disgusting amount by now. Jeez. Yeah, he's got a good number of orbitals, and I'm sure this will turn into, well, no, that'll probably actually turn into a PF. So there's this army coming down here, and it really kind of sucks because he's got a lot of his army over here, and they really won't be doing too much to the tank lines. But his whole army is centralized right here, and what he just did right there, dropping that mule, causes the tanks to shoot at the mule, doing splash damage to his own tanks. So that's something you could try and introduce to your own games if you play Terran and you see someone just kind of sieging one spot. Just drop mules on them. Well, you don't want to do it a lot unless you've got, you know, 9, 10 orbitals like they do. Then you can do it as much as you want. And as someone in the chat just pointed out, Dreadlord actually does have the air advantage because, again, Animantra with 2 Vikings. Last game, I think that's about as many as he made. So the problem is now is that with these Thors, they're going to be able to keep these Vikings from just, you know, hold command over the top of the army. So now this will be interesting to watch because, I mean, Dreadlord has no Hellbats. That's something you have to keep in mind. Like, there's nothing for him to drop on top of these tanks to do damage. These medevacs are completely worthless. And now, like I said, they're just scanning each other because why not? And let's see, more orbitals coming down from Animantra because, you know, why not? And Animantra is actually spending his money quite well. I'm kind of surprised. He's got a lot of idle SCVs though. That's something you might want to take care of. These Thors are chipping away more at these Vikings. These Thors will probably just walk over here and clean up these siege tanks though. Don't land your Viking. Okay, yeah. You probably should land your Vikings there, I lied. Don't listen to me. So he's got a couple Hellbats now, or legitimately just 2 Hellbats. We got actually a good amount of Vikings out of Animantra now. And Animantra's, well, he was close to maxed and then he just lost a whole lot. At this point, I would say sacking SCVs for more tanks and Thors would be a good idea. Well, I guess while we've got this downtime until someone decides they want to do something, if you guys enjoy this, please follow this channel. I will try and do this at least on a weekly basis. I will actually try and do it more often than weekly. Like, as long as I have players that are willing to play, I will continue doing this. And it's always nice to have viewers, so get your friends out here. I'm not sure how many still play StarCraft because I know it's a very frustrating game. But if you have any friends that play or would like to play, just have them come out here and watch, and then I'll get them into some games. And lifting those Vikings there was just suicide. I'm not 100% sure why he did that. So now Animantra's maxed out now. And he started working on a Raven Cloud. And that's something Dreadlord, actually, I don't even think he can do. I think all he's got is this 1 starport. And From all of the Mech Terran streams I've watched, they tell you, oh god, he just started 5 more command centers. That's disgusting. Anyway, by this point you want to have like 5 starports and you want to start switching over into Banshee, Banshee Raven, and stuff like that, because with the patch making it to where all of the upgrades go together, you kind of have no reason not to switch over into the ground army or into the air army. Terran's Mass Raven Cloud is extremely good right now, and I mean especially against other Terrans, considering they don't Terran doesn't have fungal or storm or anything. There's a Hellion run by up here. I mean, it's gonna tickle this base to death possibly. This base is kind of set up and might be broken in. Okay, well he's sending. This will be interesting to see because they are taking some. Oh my god, Animantra. What? Okay. Animantra GG's out. I feel that might have been a little premature. I feel like maybe he just didn't want to play that